students, good morning. This is the screen before you for the class 12th business study commerce section. Demonetization and its effect on the Indian economy. What is demonetization? Demonetization is the act of the stripping a currency unit of its status as illegal tender. The opposite of the demonetization is remonetization, where form of payment is restored as legal tender. Demonetization for us means that Reserve Bank of India has without the old rupees 500 and rupees 1000 notes as the official mode of payment. Introduction. The Indian government launched a surgical attack on the November 8th of the 2016 against black money in the economy. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, is an unscheduled live televised address to the nation on November 8th, 2016, declared circulation of all Indian national rupee 500 and Indian national rupee 1000 banknotes are void with immediate effect. Issuance of the new currencies of the value Indian national rupee 500 and Indian national rupee 2000 is exchange of old white currencies. Demonetization has been embraced in the past by the several other countries. They include some of the countries have met the purpose and whereas have failed. Nigeria 1984 100 Naira, Ghana 1982 50 cedis, Zimbabwe 2010 $1 billion, Soviet Union 1991 50 and 100 ruble, Australia 1996 full series of the polymer banknotes. In 1996, Australia became the first country to have a full series of the circulating polymer banknotes after replacing all paper-based notes. History of demonetization in Indian economy. It is not first time that the government launched demonetization. Historical previous Indian government had demonetized banknotes. In January 1946, banknotes of the 1000 and 10,000 rupees were withdrawn and new notes of the 1000, 5000 and 10,000 rupees were introduced in 1954. The Janata Party coalition government had again demonetized banknotes on 1000, 5000 and 10,000 rupees on 16 January 1978 as a means of the curbing bank money. Current situation. We cannot compare with the previous demonetization with current one. Latest round of the demonetization, the common public and the bankers are undoubtedly facing hardship since more than 85% of the currency in circulation has been rendered illegal. In one single stroke, demonetization is surely hampering the current economy and will continue to do so in the near term and will also impact India's growth but will have positive long-lasting effects. Need for the demonetization. High demonetization notes are known to facilitate circulation of the black money. Total number of banknotes in circulation rose by the 40% between 2011 and 2016. Increase in number of the notes of the Indian national rupee 500 demonetization was 76% and for Indian national rupee 1000 demonetization was 109% during this period. Infusion of new series banknotes will be monitored and regulated by the RBI. The World Bank in July 2010 estimated the size of the shadow economy for India at 20.7% of the GDP in 1999 and rising to 23% in 2007. A parallel shadow economy corrodes and eats into the vitals of the country's economy, resulting in inflation adversely affect the poor and the middle classes, depriving the government of its legitimate revenues. Forged case used to fund terrorist activities against India. Phases of the demonetization. First phase, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana 25.98 crore bank accounts. Income declaration scheme rupees 65.250 crore disclosed. Demonetization. Exchange of the currency. The Reserve Bank of India laid down a detailed procedure for the exchange of the demonetized banknotes with new 500 and 2000 banknotes. Citizens will have until 30 December 2016 to tender their old banknotes at any office of the RBI or any bank branch and credit the value into their respective bank accounts. Cash withdrawn from the bank accounts were restricted to the 10,000 per day and 20,000 per week per account from 10 to 13 November 2016. This limit was increased to 24,000 per week from 14 November. For immediate case needs, the old bank notes could be exchanged for the new 500 and 2000 banknotes as well as 100 bank notes over the counter of bank branches by filling up a requisition form along with valid ID proof. It was announced that this facility would be available until 30 December 2016. Positive side of demonetization. One of the biggest benefit of this move is that is going to drastically affect the corrupt practices. People who are holding black money in case will not be able to exchange much as they would be in a fear of the getting penalized and prosecuted by the authorities. Enemies of the country which are involved in the counterfeit currency and the terrorism will not be able to continue in further for quite some time at least. The smuggling of the arms and dealing with the terrorists will not sustain further as all of the money will be on record now. Real estate prices deep to be seen in the long run. Reduction in inflation. Initially, the limit was fixed at the 4,000 per person from the 8 to 13 November 2016. This limit was increased to 4,500 per person from the 14 to 17 November 2016. The limit was reduced to 2,000 per person from 18 November 2016. All exchange of the banknotes was abruptly stopped from 25 November 2016. Withdrawal from ATMs were restricted to 2,000 per day from 14 November onwards. ATMs recalibrated to dispense new 500 and 2,000 notes will allow a maximum withdrawal of the 2,500 per day. However, exceptions were given to petrol, CNG, gas station, government hospitals, railway and airline booking counters, state government recognized dairies and ration stores and crematoriums to accept the old 500 and 1000 banknotes until 11 November 2016, which was later extended to the 14 November 2016 and once again to 15 December 2016. International airports were also instructed to facilitate an exchange of the notes amounting to a total value of the 5,000 for foreign tourist and outbound passenger. Under the revised guidelines issued on 17 November 2016, families were allowed to withdraw to 2,50,000 from the wedding expenses from one account provided it was KYC compliant. The rules were also changed for farmers who are permitted to withdraw 25,000 per week from their accounts against crop loan. Indirect impact. Kashmir moved to normally blow up the insurgency, no more schools being burnt and no stone patterns found. Use of the apps and cards, initial step towards the digitization in India with the involvement of the small vendors leading to transparency in the system. Gold stock declaration in the stock maintained by the jewelers on a day-to-day basis, which is continued to have control over generation of the wealth from black money. Increase in revenue collection by the government authorities. Simplification in the tax policies and the reductions in tax rates in the upcoming years, reduction in the fiscal deficit, reduction in the lending rates, increase in the GDP. Secondly, the banking system will improve as it will slowly heads towards a cashless society. Cashless society will increase credit access and financial inclusion. The existing white money of the people will be known to the government and will remain with banks so that it can be put on loan and interest can generated from it. Though interest rates would fall with a corresponding fall in inflation, further banking system will get a boost as more than rupees 7 to 8 lakh crore base money, new legal money will enter the system. Negative sides of demonetization. The liquidity squeezes squeeze caused by the demonetization will be negative across sectors with the high level of the cash transactions. Real estate, jewelry, retailing, restaurants, logistics, consumer durables, and the luxury brands, cement, and the some segments, and the retail, a small monetary earning lending space will be the facing short-term instability. Those companies with high level of the debt will face more pressure and can face loan defaults. Secondly, there will be an added replacement cost of the currency which cannot ignore the increased cost of the operating ATMs need to be refilled more often and also it will be a huge burden on banks. Initially, it is very difficult to create a cashless society as more than 50% of the Indian population is not well versed with the card transactions. Banking about 3 trillion rupees in the form of the old Indian national rupee 500 and Indian national rupee 1000 banknotes deposited in the banking system, 500 billion rupees dispensed via withdrawals from the bank accounts, ATMs as well as exchange over the bank counters. A spike in the uses of debit card and credit card post demonetization was also reported. Business e-commerce companies saw up to a 30% decline in case on the delivery orders. E-payment options like Paytm and Bhim saw a rise. Real estate primary transaction may not be impacted, secondary sales may to some extent. Immediate effects of the demonetization which the media is hiding from you. 100% fake currencies out of the circulation in the one stroke. Second, Hawala sources dried up of funding of the terrorism, Maoist and Naxalite jihadis. Case to create chaos, terror lying with the terrorists, Maoist, Naxalites, jihadis gone west, Kashmir back to normal, Azadi forgotten, no schools burnt, no stone patterns to be found. Banks have started mobile ATM for hospitals. Jan-Dhan accounts are full with the money. 55 lakh money disputes settled in the one day in Lok Adalat. More than 3 lakh crore case already deposited in banks. All businessmen are depositing cash lying with them as current year income with advance tax. All jewelers are being issued forms to declare their gold stock on day-to-day basis. Defaulters of the banks, property tax, electricity bills, telecom bills are clearing their long pending dues. Defaulters of all kind of the government taxes are clearing their dues. Small vendors have started using apps and cards machines. Fiscal deficit of India set to reduce. Businessmen with declaring their black money as income and depositing with advance tax.